Young and Restless 2-week spoilers November 17th to 28th. Adam's ruthless rampage, Matt's sinister snatch and wild preemptions. Let's get right into it. Monday, November 17th, we've got Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, talking about what happened in Los Angeles and them sleeping together. Holden wonders if Claire is getting back with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller. That's what he assumed would happen when they got back. Claire, Haley Aaron, says, "Nope," and she doesn't want any relationship at all right now. Holden respects that, but he also wonders if Claire tapped the brakes with him over what he told her about him, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and the money. Speaking of her, Holden and Claire run into Audra, who is asking them if they're dating. Audra starts snarking about Kyle losing Claire to Playboy Holden. Claire basically calls Audra a hooker for taking Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden, money to sleep with Kyle Michael Mueller. They swap threats and insults, and Claire seems like she's ready to go and spill Audra's dirty secret to people in Genoa City. Lily defends Kane on YandR. Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, insists to Adam and Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, that Kane Ashby Billy Flynn is a changed man and he was going to destroy the AI program. Lily also says she is very sure that Victor, Eric Braeden, stole the AI and is using it against Kane and tells Adam his dad's a known liar. Lily says the Newmans need to leave Kane alone. Then Lily leaves to call Kane and leaves him a message saying she's sorry about what she said to him. If he can give her time, maybe something can happen. It's kind of optimistic about a future, which is the first sign that Lily has given him that maybe there's a possibility. Chelsea and Adam are wondering as they talk if Lily is going to get back with Kane. At the same time, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, and Kane are flirting over dinner and drinks at the GCAC, and Phyllis says he doesn't need to change for her. She likes him as is. He wants to go upstairs with Phyllis, and once they're in her suite, they get hot and heavy. Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor's schemes and a fiery romance ignite Genoa City. Then on Tuesday, November 18th, we've got Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, giving Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, the third degree. I'm guessing this has something to do with Victor using Kane's AI. I think Jack is going to tell Nikki that he knows Victor is coming for Jabot next. I'm guessing Nikki will deny it and say he won't do it. We all know she's an enabler. Victor helps Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, fight Matt Clark, Roger Howarth. He is helping him even though Nick's all the way in Los Angeles and Victor's back in Genoa City. We do have a new detective debuting on Thursday. That might be Victor's doing. Maybe he used some influence with the LAPD to try and get them some help. Hopefully this new cop is better than sketchy Burrow Matt Cohen. Plus, Phyllis and Kane are sizzling on Young and the Restless. They're up in her room. Phyllis is in silky lingerie. They might hop in the sack. They may do the deed. That slow burn may turn to a spark and a flame. But if they do the deed, Kane may have second thoughts once he hears Lily's message, and he may regret not checking his voicemail before he got knackered with Phyllis, if that's the way it goes. Audra's desperate plots, and a Newman history lesson. Wednesday, November 19th, we've got Audra plotting what's next. She's on this professional hiatus where she is waiting for Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, to get her company up and running before Audra can have the job. She's very worried something's going to happen, and Sally's not going to give it to her. Claire, she knows at least part of the secret of what went on in LA. So, Audra can't take that knowledge out of Claire's brain. She's got to figure out how she can defuse this landmine before it blows up. Nikki gives Claire another little Newman history lesson. So, Nikki may be telling Claire about terrible Matt Clark and the horrible things he did to Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick. Plus, Holden is commiserating with Lily. Now, they do have Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers, in common that they are grieving, but they may also be talking about his difficulties with Claire and her difficulties with Kane. Kidnapping crisis. Matt's terrifying move against Sharon. On Thursday, November 20th, we've got Catherine Kresge debuting as Detective Annie Stewart, who works for the LAPD. She may already know that Detective Burrow is a dirty cop. He's clearly on Matt's payroll. Speaking of the bad guy, Sharon isn't going to back down with Matt. In Roger Howarth's recent interview, he said Matt was completely unprepared to find Sharon his feisty and this strong, pushing back on him this hard. This week, she's at the hotel when the fire alarm goes off. She opens the door of her suite, and Matt pushes his way in and keeps her there. I'm wondering if he's going to snatch Sharon or just try and give her a good scare. Meanwhile, Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, and Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, are trapped in some sort of cell or holding room. Noah looks even worse for wear, so Detective Burrow may have roughed him up. Sienna is trying to wake up Noah, who's unconscious, and he has no idea what happened or how he got there. Nick is hunting for info, and I'm sure it's on where his son Noah is. Maybe it's on Matt. I wonder if he's going to meet Detective Annie Stewart soon. Young and the Restless spoilers. Wedding bells and special guests for Danny and Christine. Friday, November 21st, we've got Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei, set to perform an original song at Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, wedding, which is going to take up a good bit of both the Friday, November 21st episode and Monday the 24th. Instead of your average wedding cake, they're having a donut tree. Expect to see their closest friends like Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc, and Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, Jack and Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, among others. It begins on Friday, as I said, and continues on to Monday. Special guest stars coming in for the wedding include Patty Weaver as Danny's sister, Gina Roma, and Trisha Cast as Nina Webster. Thanksgiving preemptions and holiday drama predictions for YandR. The week of November 24th through the 28th is Thanksgiving week. It's going to be short. We're going to get just 3 new episodes of Young and the Restless, unless they do something out of the ordinary. I don't think they will. Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday are preempted for sports. It's basketball and football, and I say boo to that. I'd rather see my soap. So, next week, Adam and Victor take aim at Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. They are trying to tank AbbottCom before it gets off the ground. Adam's plan is to get the mystery investor to bail on Billy and Sally. But would Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, really do that? Well, maybe if she thought that Kane's AI was going to be used against AbbottCom and would wreck it and ruin her investment. Why would she spend the money just to lose it? Sally will be absolutely crushed if Adam finds a way to get Jill to pull out of financing the new company. Nikki should be appalled at the idea of Victor using the AI on Jabot, but I don't know if she can really stop him. Victor never listens to anybody about Jack, least of all Nikki. Audra exposed on Young is about to explode, and at the center of the chaos stands Adam Newman, furious, focused, and more dangerous than ever. When Adam feels cornered, he doesn't retreat. He attacks. And in the coming days, his ruthless rampage will leave shattered alliances, exposed secrets, and at least one enemy wishing they'd never crossed his path. Meanwhile, a sinister new threat named Matt takes things to an even darker level with a shocking snatch that sends shockwaves through town. Add in wild preemptions that turn lives upside down, and the Young and the Restless is heading straight into must-watch madness. Adam Newman Unleashed. Adam has spent months trying to walk a straighter line, at least by his own standards. He's fought for stability, for redemption, for a future where he isn't always painted as Victor Newman's black sheep. But all of that restraint evaporates the moment Adam realizes someone has been manipulating events behind the scenes to sabotage his career, his relationships, and his fragile peace. The betrayal cuts deep, and Adam snaps. Sources close to Genoa City whisper that Adam embarks on a calculated rampage, targeting anyone he believes played a role in his downfall. This isn't reckless Adam making emotional mistakes. This is cold, strategic Adam, the version that terrifies Victor because he recognizes too much of himself in his son. Adam begins pulling strings, leaking information, and forcing enemies into impossible corners. One by one, powerful players find their secrets surfacing in the most public, humiliating ways imaginable. Victor watches closely, torn between stopping Adam and secretly admiring his precision. But even Victor may underestimate just how far Adam is willing to go this time. Collateral damage hits home. As Adam's warpath widens, innocent people get caught in the crossfire. Chelsea senses something is wrong almost immediately. She recognizes the signs, the sharp edge in Adam's voice, the obsessive need for control, the way he starts sleeping less and planning more. She tries to reach him, to pull him back before he burns everything to the ground. But Adam shuts her out. Instead, he leans into his darker instincts, convinced that mercy will only make him weak. Relationships strain, trust fractures, and even allies begin to fear what Adam might do next. The most chilling part? Adam doesn't seem to care who he hurts, as long as he wins. Enter Matt, a sinister new threat. Just when Genoa City thinks Adam is the biggest danger in the room, Matt proves everyone wrong. Matt has lingered on the edges of town for weeks, quietly observing, gathering information, and exploiting vulnerabilities. He's not loud. He's not impulsive. He's methodical, and that makes him far more dangerous. While Adam wages his public war, Matt operates in the shadows, preparing a move so bold and disturbing that it shifts the entire balance of power. The shock comes with a sudden snatch that leaves one key character missing without a trace. Panic erupts as loved ones scramble for answers. Phone calls go unanswered. Security footage mysteriously glitches. And chilling clues suggest this wasn't random. It was planned down to the minute. Matt sends a clear message. He's in control now. A town on edge. As news of the disappearance spreads, paranoia grips Genoa City. Trust evaporates overnight. Old grudges resurface as everyone starts questioning who might be involved, or who might be next. Adam immediately suspects the snatch is connected to his own war, and guilt gnaws at him. Has his rampage opened the door for something far worse? Victor mobilizes his resources, throwing money and muscle at the problem, but even Newman power hits a wall. Matt stays one step ahead, leaving cryptic warnings that suggest the snatch is only the beginning. The psychological warfare is relentless, pushing families to their breaking points. Meanwhile, Adam faces an impossible choice. Continue his vendetta or redirect his fury towards stopping a monster he may have helped unleash. Wild preemptions change everything. Just as the tension reaches a boiling point, wild preemptions turn everything upside down. Plans are derailed. Confrontations are delayed. Emotions simmer without release, making the eventual fallout even more explosive. When the story resumes, nothing feels the same. Alliances have shifted, motives have evolved, and secrets have festered into ticking time bombs. These preemptions don't cool the fire, they feed it. When the action finally returns, characters come back sharper, angrier, and more desperate than before. Adam's next move shocks even his harshest critics. Matt escalates his game in a way no one saw coming. And the missing person's fate hangs in terrifying limbo, forcing someone close to them to make a deal that could change Genoa City forever. The fallout ahead. The question isn't whether Adam will cross a line, it's how many lines he'll obliterate before this is over. His ruthless rampage may secure short-term victories, but the long-term cost could be devastating. Redemption slips further from reach as his enemies multiply and his loved ones pull away. As for Matt, his sinister snatch marks him as a villain unlike any Genoa City has seen in years. He doesn't crave attention, he craves control. And unless someone stops him soon, the damage he inflicts could leave scars that last long after the immediate crisis ends. One thing is certain. The Young and the Restless is barreling toward a dark, twisted chapter where no one is safe, trust is a liability, and survival means making impossible choices. Adam's rampage, Matt's sinister games, and the wild preemptions ahead promise drama so intense, fans won't dare blink. Loyalty is a fragile thing, easily shattered by whispers, half-truths, and power plays. But this week on The Young and the Restless, Lily Winters proves that when it comes to Kane Ashby, her loyalty runs far deeper than public opinion or corporate politics. As accusations mount and suspicion spreads like wildfire, Lily takes a bold and risky stand to defend the man many are already ready to condemn. The question now isn't whether Kane is innocent. It's whether Lily's unwavering faith will save him, or destroy them both. Kane under fire as Genoa City turns ruthless. Kane has found himself squarely in the crosshairs after a series of suspicious moves tied to Chancellor Winter operations. What began as quiet curiosity quickly turned into open accusation when financial discrepancies surfaced, and Kane's name was attached to decisions he claims he never authorized. To some, it's an open and shut case. Kane crossed a line. Victor Newman wastes no time planting seeds of doubt, while Adam watches closely from the shadows, ready to exploit any weakness. Even Devon, usually the voice of reason, finds himself questioning whether Kane has been playing a deeper game all along. But Lily? She sees something no one else does. Lily steps into the fire. Rather than distance herself, Lily does the unthinkable. She publicly defends Kane. In a tense boardroom showdown, Lily shuts down speculation with razor-sharp precision, reminding everyone that Kane has spent years proving his loyalty to the company and to their family. She calls out the hypocrisy, pointing out how quickly Genoa City turns on its own when ambition clouds judgment. Her defense isn't emotional, it's strategic. Lily demands evidence, not assumptions. She insists on a full audit and makes it clear she won't allow Kane to be sacrificed as a convenient scapegoat. The room falls silent. In that moment, Lily isn't just defending Kane, she's reclaiming her power. Old feelings, new stakes. But this isn't just about business. As Lily stands by Kane, old emotions resurface, complicated, unresolved, and dangerous. Their history looms large, filled with love, betrayal, forgiveness, and loss. Every shared glance hints at feelings neither of them has truly buried. Kane, visibly shaken by Lily's loyalty, struggles to hide how much her faith means to him. He confides that someone is manipulating the situation, setting him up from the inside. And Lily believes him. That belief creates cracks in her current alliances and raises eyebrows everywhere. Devon's doubt and Billy's warning. Devon confronts Lily privately, urging caution. He reminds her that Kane has made mistakes before, that blind loyalty can cost everything they've worked so hard to build. Billy, ever the realist, goes further, warning Lily that defending Kane could destroy her credibility if the truth comes out the wrong way. But Lily refuses to back down. She counters with one simple truth. Trust isn't about convenience. It's about character. And she knows Kane's. Still, doubt lingers. What if she's wrong? Victor smells blood. Victor Newman, sensing vulnerability, moves in for the kill. He subtly fans the flames, leaking just enough information to keep Kane under suspicion while making Lily look compromised. To Victor, this is more than corporate maneuvering. It's an opportunity to weaken Chancellor Winter from within. Adam, meanwhile, keeps his distance, quietly gathering intel. If Lily falls, Adam will be ready to capitalize. The walls are closing in. A shocking twist looms. Behind the scenes, clues begin to surface suggesting Kane may indeed be the victim of an elaborate setup. A mysterious paper trail points to unauthorized access, and someone has been moving pieces carefully to frame him. Lily follows the breadcrumbs, determined to expose the truth, even if it means making enemies. And she does. In a chilling final moment, Lily discovers evidence that ties the sabotage to someone close, someone trusted. The betrayal cuts deep, and suddenly, defending Kane isn't just about love or loyalty. It's about survival. Will Lily's faith be rewarded, or ruinous? As tensions explode and secrets unravel, Lily's decision to defend Kane puts her at the center of Genoa City's most dangerous storm. If she's right, she'll emerge stronger than ever, proving once again why she's one of the most formidable women in town. But if she's wrong, she risks losing everything: her company, her family, and her heart. One thing is certain, on The Young and the Restless, when Lily Winters takes a stand, the fallout is never small. And this battle is only just once again a powder keg of secrets, power plays, and passion. And at the center of it all stands Victor Newman. As the mustached mogul sharpens his claws for yet another chess match, a blazing new romance threatens to complicate loyalties, ignite rivalries, and send shockwaves through the Newman and Abbott empires. This week on The Young and the Restless, viewers will see Victor pull strings from the shadows while love, dangerous, intoxicating love, explodes where no one expected it. Victor Newman's next master plan takes shape. Victor Newman never rests, he merely recalibrates. After weeks of quietly observing his enemies and allies alike, Victor is finally ready to strike. Sources tease that Victor has been playing a long game, allowing his rivals to believe they have the upper hand while he gathers leverage behind the scenes. At Newman Enterprises, Victor grows increasingly wary of shifting alliances. Jack Abbott's recent moves haven't gone unnoticed, and Victor suspects that Diane Jenkins may be far more involved than she lets on. While Diane presents herself as supportive and transparent, Victor senses manipulation lurking beneath her polished exterior. Determined not to be blindsided, Victor sets a covert investigation into motion, one that could expose secrets buried years ago. But Victor's schemes don't stop at corporate warfare. Family remains his greatest weapon and his greatest weakness. With Adam's loyalty once again in question and Victoria walking a dangerous line between independence and defiance, Victor decides it's time to remind everyone exactly who controls the board. Adam Newman walks a dangerous line. Adam finds himself in a precarious position as Victor tightens his grip. Though Adam insists he's acting in the best interests of Newman Enterprises, Victor suspects his son may be driven by something far more volatile: resentment. Old wounds resurface as Victor confronts Adam about divided loyalties and questionable decisions that could cost the family dearly. Spoilers suggest Victor may deliberately push Adam into a corner, forcing him to choose between personal redemption and ruthless ambition. And if Adam chooses wrong, Victor won't hesitate to replace him. Yet Adam isn't the only Newman under pressure. Victoria's power play sparks a war. Victoria Newman is done playing defense. Determined to prove she doesn't need her father's approval, she makes a bold executive decision that sends shockwaves through the boardroom. Victor sees it as an act of rebellion and possibly betrayal. Behind closed doors, Victor begins plotting how to neutralize Victoria's growing influence without destroying her outright. But this delicate balance may collapse when Victoria discovers that her father has been quietly undermining her authority. Father and daughter are headed for a fiery confrontation that could permanently fracture their already fragile relationship. And while the Newman family implodes, love ignites elsewhere in Genoa City. Love that refuses to stay hidden. A fiery romance ignites, and it's anything but safe. Romance is heating up in Genoa City, and this one comes with explosive consequences. What begins as undeniable chemistry quickly evolves into a full-blown emotional inferno. Stolen glances turn into secret meetings, and soon the pair find themselves unable to resist the pull between them. The problem? Their relationship threatens to cross dangerous lines: personal, professional, and possibly moral. Friends notice the tension. Enemies sense weakness. And it won't be long before Victor Newman himself takes interest. This romance isn't just passionate, it's reckless. One half of the couple has deep ties to Newman Enterprises, while the other may be harboring secrets that could devastate Victor's latest plan. As emotions spiral out of control, the lovers must decide whether their connection is worth risking everything they've built. Spoilers tease that a single impulsive moment could expose the affair, and once that happens, there's no turning back. Lily Winters grows suspicious. Lily Winters isn't easily fooled, and she can feel something shifting beneath Genoa City's polished surface. As Victor's maneuvers become more aggressive, Lily begins connecting dots others overlook. Financial inconsistencies, whispered conversations, and sudden loyalty shifts raise red flags. Lily starts asking questions, and Victor notices. Never one to underestimate an intelligent adversary, Victor begins monitoring Lily's movements closely. If she gets too close to the truth, he'll be forced to act. But Lily's resolve only hardens as she senses danger approaching, setting the stage for a high-stakes mental showdown. Jack Abbott refuses to back down. Jack Abbott has weathered countless storms, but Victor's renewed aggression puts him on edge. Old rivalries resurface as Jack realizes Victor is maneuvering pieces directly into Abbott territory. Rather than retreat, Jack prepares for war. Behind the scenes, Jack considers alliances he once dismissed, including ones that could forever alter the balance of power in Genoa City. If Victor wants a fight, Jack intends to give him one on his own terms. But Jack may be underestimating just how far Victor is willing to go. Secrets, betrayals, and an explosive cliffhanger. As the week builds toward a dramatic climax, secrets unravel at lightning speed. A confidential document surfaces. A private conversation is overheard, and one character realizes too late that they've been used as a pawn in Victor Newman's game. The fiery romance reaches a breaking point when someone close threatens to expose the truth, unless demands are met. Meanwhile, Victor prepares to deliver a devastating blow that could change multiple lives in an instant. The final moments promise a jaw-dropping cliffhanger that leaves Genoa City reeling, and proves once again that when Victor Newman is involved, no one is safe. What's next for Genoa City? With Victor's schemes accelerating and love complicating loyalties, the young and the restless is charging full speed toward chaos. Power will shift. Hearts will break. And alliances once thought unbreakable may crumble under the weight of ambition and desire. One thing is certain, Genoa City is on fire, and Victor Newman lit its share of schemers, but lately Audra Charles has been operating with a kind of frantic intensity that signals one thing loud and clear: desperation. The polished confidence she once wielded like a weapon is cracking, replaced by sharper edges, riskier moves, and a willingness to play games even she may not fully control. As Audra scrambles to secure her future, the Newmans, armed with decades of hard-earned lessons, stand as a living reminder of what happens when ambition outpaces wisdom. Audra has never lacked brains or beauty. She understands power, attraction, and leverage better than most. But what she's missing right now is patience. Every recent move feels rushed, as if she senses the ground shifting beneath her heels. Whether it's her maneuvering in business, her calculated romantic entanglements, or her habit of planting just enough doubt to destabilize rivals, Audra is playing a dangerous game, one that Genoa City has seen before. The problem? The Newmans wrote the book on this kind of war. Victor Newman didn't build an empire by panicking. He survived betrayals, coups, family fractures, and enemies far more ruthless than Audra could ever hope to be. Nikki clawed her way from nothing into the most powerful family in town, learning, sometimes painfully, that survival requires adaptability and restraint. Victoria learned early that emotional control is as valuable as any contract. Even Adam, the family's most volatile wild card, has learned the hard way that impulsive revenge often comes at a devastating cost. Audra, however, seems determined to learn these lessons the hardest way possible. At the heart of her current spiral is fear. Fear of being irrelevant, replaced, or exposed. Audra thrives when she's 10 steps ahead, but lately she's reacting instead of planning. Whisper campaigns are popping up where they don't belong. Half-truths are being leaked to the wrong people. She's testing loyalties without realizing that the Newman loyalty test is far more brutal than her own. One misstep, one overheard conversation, one ally who decides Audra is more liability than asset, and everything she's built could crumble overnight. What makes Audra particularly dangerous, though, is that she knows the Newman history. She's studied it. She understands that Victor respects boldness, that Nikki sees through manipulation masked as charm, that Victoria doesn't forgive easily, and that Adam never forgets a slight. And yet Audra believes she can outplay them anyway. That arrogance is where history comes knocking. Longtime Genoa City watchers know the pattern well. Outsiders come in thinking they're smarter than the Newmans, convinced they can exploit cracks in the family foundation. Sometimes they succeed for a while, but the Newmans always regroup. They always remember who crossed them. And when they strike back, it's surgical, personal, and devastating. Audra's latest plots feel eerily familiar, echoes of past power grabs that ended in ruin. The difference now is that the Newmans are older, wiser, and far less forgiving. Victor no longer reacts with rage alone, he waits. Nikki no longer doubts her instincts, she trusts them. Victoria no longer underestimates anyone, she documents everything. And Adam? Adam is watching, quietly, waiting for Audra to make the kind of mistake only desperation can produce. There's also the matter of Audra's personal entanglements. Mixing ambition with romance has always been a Newman landmine, and Audra is dancing right through it in heels. Emotional leverage can be powerful, but it's also unpredictable. The moment feelings get real, control slips. And when control slips, secrets spill. Audra may believe she's manipulating emotions, but she may actually be revealing her own vulnerabilities. The Newmans have always known how to weaponize emotional truth. They've turned heartbreak into strategy and betrayal into momentum. Audra, by contrast, is letting her fear steer the ship. And fear is never a steady captain. What Audra doesn't fully grasp is that the Newman legacy isn't just about power. It's about endurance. This family has survived scandals that would have destroyed lesser dynasties. They've buried enemies who underestimated them and forgiven sins that once seemed unforgivable. They've learned that the long game always wins. So while Audra plots in the shadows, convinced she's pulling strings no one else can see, the Newmans are quietly taking notes. Every move she makes adds another page to a history lesson she's about to fail. The real question isn't whether Audra will be exposed. It's how far she'll fall when it happens. Will she adapt in time, learning from the very history she's tried to exploit? Or will she become another cautionary tale whispered through Newman corridors? A reminder that ambition without discipline is a fast track to destruction? In Genoa City, history doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it always rhymes. And right now, Audra's story is starting to sound dangerously familiar.